The Trixster here. How do you? Batsley, what do you have today?
We can analyze a View interview of Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. She won a Democrat primary for District 14 in New York. She's a big-time liberal.
All right, let's take a look.
I just figured I'm going to work as hard as I can and just leave it up to the universe.
That's always what I want in a leader, someone that just kind of leaves it up to the universe. But I'm not surprised many Democrat constituency just leave it up to their fellow taxpayers, so it fits right in.
So I think I was just so surprised. I was so shocked, walking in there. Oh my goodness. I wasn't even checking on my phone. I was so nervous.
What are you, some kind of high school senior?
You're only 28 years old. You'll be the youngest woman ever elected to Congress if you win.
Well, make no doubt about it, she's going to win. The other candidate, the Republican candidate, isn't even really campaigning. He has basically no chance to win. This is I think a deep Democrat plus 29% district, so that's one of the reasons she won too. It's a highly liberal district that is more than happy to listen to her speeches about handouts and open borders.
Why did you run?
I ran because I felt like we could do better and that we could be better as a country. And I looked around. Yeah.
Listen to the clapping seals here. I ran because I felt like I could do better and we could be better. And, well, those sound like real great specifics. As Thomas Sowell said, compared to what? Compared to what? Do you have anything to offer other than generalizations?
I just want to mention, and I think people should really know this, when you did win, a lot of people said this 28-year-old bartender who isn't qualified. You went to Boston University, you studied economics and international relations, you worked for Ted Kennedy, you worked for Bernie Sanders, you've been a political activist, all while also bartending.
Yeah, and after all that, she's tending bar. I mean, what's your point?
Your win sent shockwaves basically through the Democratic Party. They did not expect it.
No.
They spent how much money did they spend on Crowley? A lot.
It was definitely well over $3 million.
And what did you spend?
For the lion's share of the race, the very end, there was a lot more small dollar donations coming in. But we had about $300,000 up until those very end days, and then things really started surging.
Okay, so there's quite a discrepancy in the amount of money that the Democratic Party put behind him.
Yeah, what Joy doesn't understand here is that if she took a look at the demographics of that district in New York, it's about 50% Hispanic, and this is a typical identity politics win. I have no hat in the ring for her competitor. I forget his name, even I could care less, but, I don't like the Democrat Party by and large anyhow. But the fact is, it's quite obvious here that this is the same old Democrat playbook, right? They love identity politics, and it played out for Miss Ocasio on this occasion because the demographics are 50% Hispanic, and it's just a reflexive solidarity they voted for. So the money didn't really matter. It was just the fact that someone ran and they were Hispanic and they won.
Do you think that the future of the Democratic Party is socialism?
Well, first of all, there's a huge difference between socialism and democratic socialism.
And here we go.
Democratic socialism, and really what that boils down to me is the basic belief that I believe that in a moral and wealthy America, in a moral and modern America, no person should be too poor to live in this country.
In a wealthy America, this country's $20 trillion in debt, lady. Clapping seals in the audience. You didn't know that? Probably not. Most people don't know jack or crap, to be honest. The country's $20 trillion in debt, more than that. It has $120 trillion unfunded liabilities, meaning that everything that's promised all the people that are alive today is $120 trillion that we don't have. And she's sitting there on a platform stating she wants to give more. How do you like it? How do you like it? Country bankrupt. How do you like it? How do you like it? This is who she is. These are these idiots like Bernie Sanders. Oh, free college, free everything, free this, open borders. And the country's already bankrupt. We're not wealthy, lady. Wake the hell up. Take a look at a debt clock.
That's what I believe.
Oh, is that what you believe? Is that what you really believe? Okay, well, if you believe it, then that makes it so, and then you can just act on it. And if you believe everything else, it'll just come true. Just wave your magic wand, because that's what I believe.
I'm so sick of that crap. Why don't you do some analysis? You supposedly have some kind of economics degree. Wake the hell up. The country's in debt.
That's what I believe.
And so I think I can understand that there may be some divisions. I don't think people wake up in the morning and say, I'm a capitalist, And so it's funny that when I win, this is the word that's always so thrown around.
I think Donald Trump wakes up with that exact
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, Joy, he does wake up every morning saying he's a capitalist. Lowest unemployment's ever, lowest minority unemployment's ever, nearly the lowest female unemployment's ever. Country's doing well. Take a look at your 401ks compared to when Obama was in. They're flying off the charts. We got investment coming back in the country. Yeah, he's a capitalist, and the yo-yo you're sitting with is opposite all that. So I guess she wants to bring back the, anemic growth rates in our economy. That's wonderful, Joy.
Here's what I think. I think the future of the party is working class.
Did she ever actually explain the difference between socialism and the wonderful democratic socialism? Did that ever come around? I mean, it surprises me all the time how these people always want to diverge from the founding principles of this country that made it great, which are capitalism and rugged individualism. They're always wanting to diverge away from that. And it's just not going to work. I mean, the further you get away from that, the worse things get.
That's an inspiration for so many women, and not only just women in general, but women of color.
You see, folks, the identity politics, 100%.
I'm not just for women, but women.
How about just for somebody that did a good job campaigning, perhaps? Somebody that had a lot of energy, somebody, whatever it was, that has a good plan. This lady doesn't have a good plan. She couldn't even enunciate one item of her plan on, 8 minutes of an interview. But, I mean, why does it always have to be identity politics? But, in all fairness, that's how she won.
So I hear, though, that you potentially want to run for president one day. Is that true? Mom, is that true?
I don't know.
Yeah, the country isn't District 14 in New York, trust me. I think the chances of you winning the presidency anytime in the near future are about zero, but, go ahead and run.
It was so, I used to say this on the trail, it's so hard to run for Congress, I cannot even imagine. I can't even imagine how folks like Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders or any of these folks run for president.
How about Donald Trump, the guy that actually won? Maybe you could give a shout out to him, the guy that's got the economy on the roll, the guy that is the antithesis of all your idiotic ideas.
If Donald Trump can do it, honey, anybody can. Don't stop there if you don't want to.
Oh, if Trump can do it, then almost anybody can.
You mean the guy that ran a campaign with, you were praising her for, far less money than his opponent? The guy with no political history? The guy that flipped 3 states with one of the biggest upset wins ever in American history and politics and is now running the country like a boss? You mean that guy? Frickin' moron.
And people are so excited right now on the heels of your win because there is a hopeful, aspirational message you have.
Yeah, what's that? Bankrupt the country, give everybody everything for free, open borders, wide open borders with no border control. That's the hopeful, aspirational message. Great, wonderful. Boy, what things we aspire to here on The View.
But there have been a lot of Trump wins this week. Yeah. He got his travel ban. SCOTUS dealt a blow to the unions. We have the retirement of Justice Kennedy.
You're going to get sick of winning all the time, aren't you?
I come from the background as an educator and as an organizer. So I believe that our power as a party is in organizing people.
If by party you're referring to the Democratic Party, your power is not in organizing people. It's in manipulating people and pitting one group of Americans against another to further your political power.
And when we organize people, when we win hearts and minds, then we impact what happens in those chambers.
You're not winning hearts and minds. You're offering them free stuff. There's a big difference. This has been the Democratic platform for forever. Let's divide people into groups where we can balkanize them and say, play identity politics and pit one group against another. And then the other game plan is, I'll just keep offering ridiculous amounts of stuff for free.
And that's, I think, where our power can really come from.
Wow. Thanks to Alexandria Ocasio Cortez. We'll be right back.
What I find strange is Alexandria Ocasio Cortez defeated Joe Crowley, correct? A Democrat who was in control in that district for around 20 years. The district was the 7th, and it got redistricted to the 14th, which is the current district today. But he's been in control there for 20 years. What has he been doing for 20 years? Implementing Democrat policy. What's her solution to all these problems she said he's caused? All these problems that people have there? High housing costs, low wages, low job participation, whatever it is she says are the problems. Joe Crowley, ostensibly, and his policies are the problem and the fault for that. And yet, what is she going to do? Quadruple down on the same policies. Run policies that are even more liberal than his. That's like saying I'm going to solve the problem of the hole in the boat by drilling a bigger hole. It's insane. But this is what she proposes to do. If you're looking at things from a logical perspective, you would assume that things are only going to get worse because she's only going to take his same policies and ramp them up to the nth degree. But in Democrat land, this makes complete sense because when the policy fails, it's never the policy. It's just, we didn't do enough of it. We didn't give away enough free stuff. We didn't let enough people into the country without checking out who they are. We didn't know. The problem is you're going the wrong direction, morons. Wake up. Vote for a doggone Republican. You'll probably have a nice district. Trixster out. Batsley, keep the lights on.
You got it, Trixster. Hey, if you like what you're hearing, you want to hear more? Kick us a couple bucks on our Patreon site. The link's in the description below. Or you can buy some slick Trixster gear at the link in the description below. You can get a t-shirt or a sweet hoodie, or you can even take your morning cup of joe in one of our coffee mugs. Help us out and keep capitalism in America alive. Later.
And as always, please subscribe and hit the notification bell.